Welcome to Backstage Pass. CJ here. I am here with Ashley Doerr, successful agent here at KLRE. Excited to hear about her story and her journey here. Let's jump right in. Ashley, where are you from? Where'd you grow up?
I grew up in Blaine most of my life. I actually lived on a farm, though, before that.
Where farm?
Greenbush, Minnesota.
Okay. I have no idea where that is. Where is Greenbush?
Very north, maybe 10 miles from the Canadian border.
Oh,
So,
that like north,
Mhm.
like really north.
Yeah.
How long did you grow up there?
I lived on a farm probably until 6th grade is when I moved down to the
So
cities.
that's where you grew up.
Yeah.
Okay. Interesting. Tell me about Greenbush. What is it known for?
Nothing. It's it's a population of, I don't know, when I lived there anyway, it's maybe 100 people. So
Okay. And then what is the closest big city to that?
Roseau, maybe.
Okay,
It
I've
was
heard of that.
Yeah.
What kind of farm?
We had everything. It was kind of a hobby farm. So horses, we had peacocks.
Okay, so I didn't grow up on a farm. So when you say hobby farm, you just had these animals?
Yeah.
Just walking around?
Yeah, everything except for pigs and cows.
Okay, so you weren't farming animals or you weren't farming crops or anything? It was just a hobby farm.
Yeah, just hobby farm, sheep, goats, rabbits.
Okay.
And I was in 4-H, so I showed a lot of those animals and
All
stuff.
right. Did you
so.
come down to the state fair
I did, yes.
yearly? Was
Yeah.
that just an exciting time?
Yeah, super exciting. That was kind of the big deal, the world, it was a state fair.
This is like new to me. That's okay. So you grew up north by the Canadian. How often would you go to Canada?
Not that often.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then what did you do growing up on a hobby farm?
We rode horses. The closest neighbor was 5 miles away, so you'd
Okay.
have to ride horses to go over their four-wheel over there or snowmobile.
Did you have like a favorite animal?
I would say the horses were probably my
horses.
favorite, yeah. And we
Well-
boarded a lot of horses, too. So.
Or do you have a specific horse that was like your horse?
Carmel.
Carmel.
Carmel was my very first horse. I actually traded him. I traded my first mini bike to get him. So
Oh, so you traded a bike to get a horse?
yeah.
This is news to me. Like where do you find this horse trader?
I don't know. That's my mom.
You're just like, well, riding the bike down the street, and you're like, oh, I'll trade you my bike for your horse.
My mom kind of negotiated it, but yes. So my mom has good negotiating skills, which I think she passed along to me.
Okay, so growing up through 6th grade, siblings, was it?
No, I was actually an only child.
Only child.
Yep, up until about, geez, that's horrible. 6th grader. So,
Yeah.
And then I had my father had gotten married, and I have a stepbrother and stepsister now.
Okay, so you grew up pretty much in Canada with a bunch of animals. I love it.
Yeah.
And then what led to the move to Blaine in 6th grade?
My mom just wanted to get back to the cities, and that was kind of an age that I wanted to get in the cities too.
Yeah.
And like have friends that were closer and stuff.
Yeah.
So it was a big transition, but I like it. I liked it a lot.
And then so 6th grade, you moved to Blaine, the big cities.
Yeah, it was a big city.
And how was that transit? Do you remember? I mean, middle school.
Yeah.
So-
So it was different, making new friends and there was no friends that I had there. So
Okay. And so you moved to Blaine, and talk about middle school and high school. What were you into? What kind of things did you do?
I was into a lot. I was into diving, gymnastics, dance. I did all that through middle school and high school. And then actually in high school, I became a single mom. I became a mom at a very early age while I was in high school. And I transitioned into a teen pregnancy program is where I initially graduated from.
Okay. Did you go to Blaine High School? Is
I
that
did,
where you went?
yes. Yep, and graduated from Blaine.
So you experienced a lot of life in a short amount of time.
Yes.
Looking back at that time, sometimes this part of the interview or the podcast that I asked, like, what was your first job? Were you working?
I was, yeah. I
you were.
started working at a very, very young age. I think 14 was my first job.
Okay. Do you remember what you did?
Yeah, it was BK's Family Restaurant.
Not Burger King.
No.
As
It was
in Blaine?
yeah, no, you know what? I think it was maybe in Coon Rapids or something.
Okay.
I can't even remember where it was,
Yeah.
but just as a hostess, it was interesting.
And then full-time mom.
Yes, and then
And
full-time
school.
mom, yes. And that's kind of when I transitioned out of working
Yeah.
just to stay home with him for a while.
Got it. And like I said, you experienced a lot in a short amount of time. Looking back at that time now, what would you say kind of the biggest thing that you learned having to grow up real quick?
I guess responsibility. I mean, I
Mhm.
had a lot of responsibility on my plate,
Yeah.
that I didn't know anything about. I took probably every class I could to learn about it,
Yeah.
and how to raise a kid and all that. But yeah, I guess I had to learn responsibility and growing up real fast.
And that's a tough season for a lot of people in that situation. Did you have support around you at that time, or was it?
I did. I was with my son's father at the time, so
Mhm.
that was really nice, so he was able to work and I was able to stay home with him. But
Okay.
yeah.
So after that part, finishing high school through a different transition program, you said, what did you do after that?
After that, I got into sales really quickly. As soon as I was comfortable with my son, like staying home with maybe family members or going to daycare, which was
Yeah.
a while. But I got into sales, and
What were you selling?
magazines.
What, what kind? Which ones?
So over the phone,
Okay.
it was every magazine. We had
Got it.
hundreds to choose from.
Just cold calls.
Basically, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And I was really, really good at it, and I got into closing really fast, and that's pretty much closing the deal rather than
Yeah.
just being on the phone doing the cold calls.
Say more about that. How did you know you were good at it?
I was number one like right away, like week
Did
one.
it just come naturally to you, or do you feel like you were working really hard, or?
Yeah, I mean, I was working really hard, but it came natural.
Okay.
Just making friends with people over the phone. I'm really
Yeah.
good over the phone
Okay.
with building rapport with people.
How
and-
old were you at the time?
Gosh, I think I started when I was 19 or 20.
Okay. So how long did you sell magazines for?
A long time. I did that for about 5 years, and then I left and I went to Home Furniture.
Okay.
And I was in their call center for, another 5 years. And again, within my first month, I was management there.
Okay, so success seems to be following you as you're telling your story.
Yeah, it did. It did. It came really natural, I guess, the management
And it was
positions.
another phone position.
It was.
Okay.
Yes. So I ran the call center there.
All right. And then what happened after that?
I went back to magazines.
What?
I did, yes. The money was there. A little better in
What
sales.
years was this? Like, when were people buying magazines like this?
Man, they were still buying magazines. I did, when so I was there, but I went back and I went there. I think another 7 years.
Yeah.
And that's where I came from to come to KLRE.
Okay.
Was from magazines.
What's the name of the company?
Viking Magazine Service.
What is like the magic of selling a magazine?
It's all the same in sales, I think, is
Yeah.
the rapport you get with customers. And again, I moved very quickly up into management. I was a sales manager there.
Yeah.
Because I get along with all my employees as well,
Okay.
building the rapport with them. You have to
Yeah.
have them be happy in order to have success as well. And
Yeah.
then from sales manager, I end up as sales director.
So you went back to at Home Furniture, went back to magazines, and then what led to the transition after that?
So what happened is I was getting a little burnt out. I mean, it's, it was the same thing for a really long time and you're just on the phone, same thing over and over every day. And I was driving and I heard a radio commercial for KLRE Scholarship.
Yeah.
And it was one where they were like, does this happen to you? Do you feel this way? Every single thing I was like, yes, that's me. I'm like, that's exactly what I want.
And so you're driving, you hear Chris talking about, are you fed up with your current situation? Are you selling magazines right now? And so talk about that, because a lot of people, it takes time to transition. So from the moment of you being burnt out and having an option or an opportunity, what led to actually applying or making that jump?
I guess that was it. I mean, I just heard the commercial. I went home and I'm like, I'm just going to do it.
Really?
Yeah, because I've really had an interest in real estate for a really long time.
Yeah.
I just never thought it was possible to do.
Okay. Did you apply for the scholarship?
I did.
Say more with it. So did you make the decision, okay, I'm going to do this thing, and then that scholarship is the opportunity? Was it difficult, or were you like excited to take that risk?
I was excited, but I was very nervous. I mean, going from a well-paying job that's guaranteed to a self-employment job basically, and not having that guaranteed income anymore. It was a little scary, but no, I was excited at the same time for some change. So,
and sometimes people see an opportunity to pursue it, and some other people that I've talked to, they were just kind of fed up with their current situation.
Mm-hmm.
Where do you fit yourself in as far as when you made that transition?
Yeah, I was just burnt out. I was just ready for change, and
Got it.
I knew I could do it, so I just
Then
did
you
it.
made that transition. And talk about the scholarship program. What was your experience with it, and how did that help prepare you for what you're doing now?
The scholarship program was awesome. I mean, it was seamless. It was just basically getting into school and finishing and, getting your license. So it was all really easy.
It was, and then you're seeing some success here now. When you look back about your journey to KLRE, what skills have you pulled with you from your previous employment?
I'd say probably the most important one, being organized. You have to be very organized to manage your schedule.
Yeah.
Sometimes we have busy schedules. And leadership, a lot of my clients are looking for someone to lead them to where they want to go.
Yeah. I'm guessing the other work that you had was pretty set schedule.
Oh, yeah. 9 to 5.
Talk about that transition, because I know when people are thinking about their current position, situation, it is a lot more structured. That jumping into this more no schedule, you set your own schedule. What was hard for you in that transition, or how did you navigate that, going from that set schedule to, hey, I'm on my own?
Yeah, it was actually really exciting for me because, well, my son, he's 16 now. Well, he's about to be 17 in March.
Yeah.
So it was a good age for him, I guess, for me to be able to have that flexibility, because now I can go around his schedule as well, as far as his robotics and school, stuff like that. Anything, I don't have to worry about missing that or requesting time off work to go there.
Yeah.
I'm just able to do it, and it's really nice. And I don't mind sometimes, it's my full-time job. So I work mornings, nights, weekends, I make myself available when my clients need me.
See, where'd your son go to school now?
He's in Cambridge High School.
Is that where you currently live?
Yes.
Talk more about robotics.
Yeah, it's awesome. It's so exciting. So he's been in robotics since we moved to Cambridge when he was in 6th grade.
Okay.
So that, oh no, I'm sorry. We moved there when he was in 5th grade.
Okay.
But started robotics in 6th grade when it was available.
Yeah.
And so he's been in it 7 years. And it's super exciting. It's really fun. They build, so each, same game. They all play a game, and it's the same game in China and here, Canada. They all play the same game, and each team gets this box of parts, and which is like $6,000, $8,000 or something of parts, but there's no instructions. So the kids have to come up with this, build this robot to be able to play this game.
Yeah.
And then we go to competition. So in March, we actually have a competition up in Duluth at the, Duluth Entertainment Center.
Yeah.
So that's super exciting. That's something we always do. And last year, they actually won and they qualified to go to World Championship. But unfortunately, due to COVID, it was canceled. But hopefully this year.
That's fun. I love how you say we. Like, you're part of it. Like, you're in it.
It's so exciting.
And you're that involved in his robotics.
Yeah.
Talk about that as far as, when people make the transition from like a set schedule to, the freedom and flexibility that you have. Speak more to that you get to be that involved in his hobbies, but it's because the work that you're doing is pretty flexible.
Yeah, exactly. Yep. I do also, my fiance, he's also a realtor with KLRE.
Okay. Yeah.
And he
Power
makes
couple.
Yeah, right? He makes it pretty easy for me too to be able to do that, if things come up and people need me. But yeah, he brings me, like, if I get too serious, he'll bring me back down to ground and make me laugh, and
That's good. And so I love that your story comes through the scholarship program, and you start diving in, putting the work in, and now you're seeing success here. Looking back, what do you wish you knew when you were first getting started?
I guess that everything is not an emergency. Because I thought that everything had to be done at this exact minute, and it's okay to say no, and people respect that. And
can you tell a story about when did that click for you?
It was a while.
It was a while. It took
yeah,
a while.
I was constantly like, oh gosh, I got to do this, got to do that right away. Everything doesn't need to be done right away, you know. And once you learn that, it's really relaxing and comforting to know that. I guess there was I don't know, just recently one of my one of my clients said that, it really means a lot that and they respect you when you say that,
Yeah.
and they show that, hey, you're in demand, your skills are in demand. And it also builds rapport with the customer and the clients, because then when you go to meet them, they ask you about what you were doing, what happened. They want to know about your life as much as you want to know about theirs.
So you should just be honest with your clients.
Absolutely.
Oh, that's revolutionary.
I know, right? Like, you actually have a life too.
Hey, you are a human. All right. You have
Yeah.
Okay, that's great.
Yeah.
That's good. I think for some people that are short-sighted and brand new, everything's hyper-focused on the current.
Absolutely.
So that's great that you're pulling people out of that. Say, hey, there's a long-term thing here.
Yeah.
When in your journey at KLRE did you realize, like, hey, I'm good at this?
Right away.
Right away.
Yeah.
Okay.
It was pretty
say
fast.
more about that. How did you know that your skills and life experience kind of set you up to succeed here?
It wasn't very long until, I just started getting clients right away, getting them signed and then getting them under contract. And I just loved every bit of it. I love being out in the field. I love interacting. It's something different every single day. I mean,
So you're looking forward to that.
Oh, yeah. I look forward to it. I love it. I love everything about it.
That's great. So when you think about your success here, what is keeping you here at KLRE?
I guess the main thing that even drew me to KLRA too is the whole movement, like the Be Generous movement and the whole fact of giving back to people, helping people. That's my main thing. So, I mean, of course, everything's a numbers game, but the main thing to me is helping people. So the number of people that I get to help.
And I love that that's kind of your role, helping your clients. And I hope you're experiencing the culture that we have here and that we're creating that, hey, people are here to support and help you. So in this competitive industry, how have you experienced the support from either colleagues or your coaches, or how has that helped you in your success here?
Well, that's one thing that literally blew me away when I came to KLRE was the amount of support I had when I first started and how everybody was so nice. I couldn't believe it. I mean, I came from a different place where people weren't so nice, but I mean, everyone was so nice and I couldn't believe it. And
you thought everyone was just
I'm like,
what is wrong?
Geez, everyone is so nice to you. Like, it was awesome. And I had unlimited support. So I had no issues, taking off.
Got it. If you could say something to someone that's kind of where you were, like in transition, wondering, hey, should I stay in my current situation? Should I move on to the next? And they're considering KLRE and the scholarship program. What would you say to that person as someone that has made that jump, has seen some success here, and is continuing to grow?
Do it.
Just do it.
Yeah, I mean, I wish the only regret I have is not doing it earlier. I wish I would have done this earlier.
That's great.
For sure.
And I love the fact that coming from up north, raising peacocks and horses and jumping in the robotics with your son, what would you say to those that are parenting while a real estate agent?
That you're able to do it. You have enough flexibility to be able to still, be very involved in your kid's life and sell real estate at the same time.
Great. Yeah. Well, thank you so much for spending your time and inviting me into your story. I'm excited to see where you go from here. But that's it. We're here, and we are excited as we continue to grow that we have people like her here, part of the company, building this culture here. Take care.